What old insult needs to make a comeback? Yes. This especially on the internet where bullshit seems to be the most popular currency.
Oh, you like my hat?
Ah, well, that's one way to look at it. Great face. I don't know why you would, but you have a great face for radio. A face for radio and a voice for print. Most insanely idiotic thing. Billy Madison. What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Edit. Added link. This one is from an Adam Sandler movie called Billy Madison, and the scene is even more hilarious.
Okay, a simple wrong would have done just fine, but
Yo mama. Your mama's so old that she comes on Reddit to ask,
What old insult needs to make a comeback?
seriously, no one says your mama jokes anymore, and we need more of them.
The problem is your mama made the greatest joke of all time, and the rest of us just gave up. I don't know what to tell you, but everyone's still doing your mama. Your mama is so fat when she goes camping, the bears hide their food.
Your mama's so ugly that the whole world faked a pandemic to cover her face. Oof, that is brutal. Error. You and I would both be in error if I agreed with you. My friend says something similar a lot.
I agree with you, but then we'll both be wrong.
Crayons. I have never the time nor the crayons to explain this to you. $1 billion idea. What kind of weird, eccentric shit would you do if you had billions of dollars? Gondor?
I will build livable replica cities of Gondor, Rivendell, and Hibbiton. The fact that no billionaire has done this makes me convicted that billionaires are not fun at all. Who wants another boring mega yacht when you could do something way more whimsical?
Ah yes, bring Tolkien to life. Godzilla. Finance a whole bunch of gorilla movies, made the old-fashioned way, with guys in rubber monster suits slugging it out with the miniature cities. Some like it the old-fashioned way.
Completely reinvented myself with clearly false stories, but have edited and doctored pictures meant to poorly incorporate my claims, which are wildly inaccurate.
The Bethany Beach Story. Long.
Oh, this one is easy. There's a town in Delaware called Bethany. It's home to Bethany Beach. A few years ago, you could have a cool little pop-up tents for people and kids. Think baby tents. But they recently did away with them and said umbrellas allowed only.
Why? Well, the umbrella rental company, Stins, rents umbrellas for $10 a day. This new wave of easy and portable shade was crushing their profit margins. They easily went from making $100K plus a week to less than $20K by my conservative estimates of counting the number of umbrellas on a 100-yard walk and then applying that average to the 2-mile stretch of beach. So how did the Stins get the tent ban in place? The wife of the company sat on the board of superiors for the city and led the whole charge. So if I were a billionaire, the first thing I will do within 2 days of acquiring the fortune is buy 10K of the best umbrellas of the market. I would then create a company called Sneets and give the town of Bethany $50 million to let me operate on the beaches. I then would charge $1 a day for the umbrella rental while paying my staff $50 an hour to run the stand. This would obliterate Steens. Once Steens is crushed to dust, I would purchase every property around the owners of Steens' homes. I then would tell the city I would give them $1 million for rezoning, so I could rezone just the areas that the Steen family owns property. I would then zone them for wildlife protection areas and destroy all access to their residence and turn the entire surrounding area into the native coastline wetlands, in which their home will be swamped in the middle of the zero approval to add my new infrastructure for access to it, rendering the property legally isolated, and render it inaccessible to the new laws and protective class of surrounding land. Then, with the Steen Empire demolished and the presence of footprint gone forever, I would give the town another $10 million to permit tents back on the beach, set up a trust for the umbrella company to operate in the current status for free for 50 years, and silently sit down in the rocking chair and enjoy a gold iced tea. This, without fail, is how I would spend the first 30 days as a billionaire before turning my eyes to philanthropy.
There's scorched earth, then there's whatever this is. Jesus, OP.
Faint goals.
I would have an entire field of fainting goats and a high balcony that I could burst out of every morning and watch as my goat field faints before me. I would feel like a god.
Weird versus crazy.
I'm doing this weekend now, and I'm poor.
If you're poor, you're weird. If you're rich, you're eccentric.
I'm poor, but I own a nice suit, allowing people to think I'm eccentric when I'm really just crazy.
Last words. You're going to die in 5 seconds. What are your last words?
I would think about too long and die saying nothing.
I think I was at it for slightly less than 5 seconds before I thought of, fuck me.
You should have died.
The Hound.
Looks like I picked the wrong way to stop us sniffing glue.
Honest.
Well, fuck.
Wife. Tell my wife I said hello. Aw, that is sweet. It's from Futurama, by the way. Kids.
Hey, kids! Want to see a dead body?
Supervillain. You're a supervillain who just took over the world. What's the first thing you're doing? Press.
Kill OP for calling me a supervillain. I won't allow that kind of press.
Yes. Need to keep the media in check. Entertainment.
Making sure all entertainment products only certain approved storyline and content. Place all current world leaders under arrest.
Break. Going on a holiday. I've just taken over the effing world. I earned a break. Industry secret. What is a dirty little secret about an industry that you've worked in that people outside the industry really should know? Peanut butter. Not all that much of a secret, but I used to work in a peanut butter factory. We produced about 25 to 30-ish different store brands ranging from very cheap to stupidly expensive. We had a grand total of 3 recipes: chunky, non-chunky, and no additives.
Peanut butter should taste like peanut butter.
Weights. They put little weights on lipsticks to make them feel more expensive so they can charge more. Same for Beats headphones. Some for winning fishing tournaments. Museums.
Zoos and museums are universally held together with double-sided tape. The size or prestige of the organization doesn't matter either.
Also, the dinosaur bones you're oohing and eyeing over are probably plaster. The actual bones are stowed safely in the basement. I imagine most artifacts on display aren't real, just very high quality fakes. Similar to this cave, where you really can't trust the general public not to fuck it somehow. Honestly, as long as the museum is using the real ones to learn more about our history, I'm okay with it. Ah, my life has been a lie. Pajamas. Do you think it's okay to wear pajamas in public? Why or why not? Police. Who's gonna stop you? Fashion police? Stop right there, criminal scum! Dirty.
No, I don't want my comfy pajamas getting outside dirty.
Yeah? Jammies are for when I'm fresh out of the shower after a long day and ready to crawl in my cozy bed. Pajamas in public people are the same team as outdoor shoes worn in the house people. Wendy's. What was your, sir, this is a Wendy's moment? For those of you who don't know, it means anything something mildly inappropriate for the place or time. Veteran support. One day, an older gentleman was waiting in the queue. When it was his turn, I called him up and asked what I can help him with. He stepped up to the counter and told me that the veteran's hospital was claiming his vision impairment was only 20% disability and he felt like it was much higher. I agreed and I offered to walk him to the correct building and told him I would be a witness for him. Job. Had a guy come into my place of work yesterday, pissed off because he issued his payment date and had to pay extra to turn his phone back on. He said something along the lines of, "It was due at midnight and you aren't open at midnight, so how am I supposed to pay?" I calmly explained that we are open until 7 p.m. every day but Sunday, and he screamed, "Well, unlike you, I actually have a job!" At my job. Whilst doing my job.
You're right, sir. I don't work here. I just do this for fun.
Taxes versus testicles. I work for a CPA office that is in the office park with a couple doctor's offices. One day, a guy came in only speaking Spanish, so I grabbed my Spanish-speaking colleague to translate. He talked to the guy in the lobby for a few minutes. Then the guy left, and my coworker came back and asked if that was a joke or we put someone up to that. Apparently, the guy explained that his testicles were extremely swollen and painful. He was looking for one of the doctor's offices and just walked into the first building in the complex. Sir, we do taxes here, not testicles." You should put that on your business cards. My curiosity will probably get the better of me.
No ball busting, just tax break. Refund you'll go not over. Our tax prep is swell.
No coke? I've told this story tons of times to my friends and family because it's one of my favorite Domino stories. This happened somewhere around 2017, 2018. One day, it was really slow at work in Domino's. I was still a relatively new insider, only a few months into it, what would be about 4 years, and still in school. So, I was hoping that it would stay slow, so I can go home, so I can cheat on my math homework, play some League of Legends, and get some sleep since my school started an hour earlier than the other schools in my area. A woman, probably mid-40s, comes in order a pizza. She's pretty chill. And we're just chatting while she's ordering because there isn't much to do. Otherwise, since we're already cleared the store and the oven and all that. After she gets her pizza all done up, I ask her if she likes any drinks. She's like, "Oh, what do you guys have?" I'm running down the drink options and she notices Coca-Cola and looks at me wide-eyed, just like she saw someone getting hit by a car.
Don't you know they put human embryos in Coke?
I am sorry? She then spends the next 7 minutes running down pretty much every major conspiracy, from human embryos in Coca-Cola to flat Earth to the moon landing being faked, etc. If you think of a pre-COVID conspiracy, she hit it. And she tied it all up in a neat little bowl.
It's all the Jews.
I'm stun-locked. The only words that could come out of my mouth were, "So, no on the drink?"
"Zero Coke, please."
I guess the zero means zero embryos. The fact that she still ordered a Coke what makes the story insane. Contest line. Work in radio. Got a call on the contest line one time. "Yeah, I need a hotel room," said the caller. "Okay. How would you like me to help you?" "Well, book me one." "You're aware you called a radio station contest line, right?" "Yeah. Don't you book hotel rooms for rock stars when they do a show in town? Book me one."
Oh my god, that's why you can never get through on the contest line.
Liberal. The last one is a literal Wendy's joke.
I was working at McDonald's and this lady said, "Can I get a Wendy's 4 for $4?" I said, "Ma'am, this is McDonald's." And without a moment's hesitation, she replied, "Indeed it is. Can I get a Big Mac?"
Lol, I'll give a point for a smooth recovery.